Good morning, guys. Today is Testimony Thursday, and I will be sharing with you my testimony. And I'm like super excited to share this story with you guys. And it is a testimony about me tithing and what God has done for me. And like before I even start this video, I want to let y'all know I am no expert when it comes to tithing. I'm just being obedient and sharing my experience. And I pray and I hope that my story can inspire you guys to give 10% back in tithe and give it to the kingdom. So let's get it. Let's go. I'm going to try to make this video short and sweet, but I also got to be very detailed so you know that it's God and I ain't just out here making up stories. So there was a situation that happened to me where I'm like, I truly had to trust God with all of my heart in my finances. I've always been the type of person, if I want something, I go get it and I go get it myself. I'm like, okay, I want this. I'm about to get this job. I'm about to get this job. It's been times where I've had 3 jobs just hustling. It's never been in me to just sit on my butt whenever I want something. Whenever I needed extra money, I'm out and I'm going to get it. But in this situation, it was different. Like, I'm telling y'all, I kid you not, I swear to you that I would try to get extra income. I would try to look for extra jobs, and the Holy Spirit would tell me, no, I don't need you to do that. I just need you to sit still and I need you to trust me, because at the end of the day, I supply all of your needs. But that's not how I was wired. You know, like I said, like I always believed in God, but this season of my life is completely different, where I'm reading the Bible more, where I'm into the word, I'm listening to sermons every single day. We just have the closest relationship that we've ever had. And so he used to be close, but I would still do things my way. And this season, he's like, we're going to be close, but you're going to do things my way. So I was in a situation where I truly had to trust God with all of my heart. So I feel like my lipstick, yeah. I had to truly trust God with all of my heart. And like I said, I had to choose between paying my tithes or paying for my daughter's daycare. And in my experience, if I had this experience before, not with daycare, but with just anything, I'm paying my daughter daycare all day. Like, I'm putting God on hold. I love you. Like, I'm gonna give it to you maybe like 2 months from now, but I need my 10%. I need that money for me. So, but something spoke to me, and it was like, I'm trying to teach you obedience. I'm trying to teach you to listen. I'm trying to get you set up and get you deep rooted in my word, that no matter what, you trust me. You can't trust me when it looks good on Monday and Tuesday, but when things get rough on Wednesday, you don't trust me. I need you to trust me all throughout, the days, the weeks, the hours. So I was like, okay. And I just remember my mom, like, man, that woman is amazing. I just remember she will always instill in me to pay my tithes. And I just be like, man, I ain't trying to pay my tithes. Like, I need my money. And then one church that I went to a long time ago, the pastor and the first lady went to jail because they were stealing money from the church. So I just, like, in my mind, I felt wired, like, they just stealing my money anyway, so I ain't about to give them no money. Like, no, I'm good. And I just remember, like, it will be times where it'll be my mama last, like, just her last, and she'll give it to God, and I'll think she'll be dumb. I'm sorry. I love you, mama, but I'm like, she got X, Y, Z to her name. Like, we need food, but you giving it to God, but of course, he always came through. But anyways, so like I said, I was in a situation where I had to pay my daughter's daycare or pay my tithes. I ended up being obedient and I paid my tithes. I had no idea. I told the lady that I'll be able to pay it next week, but I ain't going to be able to pay it this week. Now, look, have to help me out. And so, but I was being super honest with her and super transparent with her. And so I was just like, look, I'm going through a situation right now. It will get better, but I got hit a little hard with something. And she was like, okay. She's like, well, how much can you pay? And for those who know, daycare is expensive. Like it can cost the same amount as rent. Okay, so daycare is like super expensive. So she was asking me, how much can you pay? And I'm like, ma'am, I told you I can't pay anything today. I got you next week though. And she's like, no. Like, how much can you pay? Like, weekly? And I'm like, what do you mean? The weekly tuition is X, Y, and Z. What do you mean? She was like, no, Regina, I'm asking you, how much can you pay? What is your amount? And I'm like, what do you mean, what's my amount? She was like, go home, calculate all your finances, and come back and let me know how much you can pay weekly. I'm like, what? Is this real? So then I call my best friend. I'm like, girl, this is what happened. Like, what number do I say? And she was just like so amazed. She was like, bro, that's God. Like, that's just God. And I'm just like, man, like, it's crazy because I'm over here trying to do things my way and not pay my tithes and pay my daughter's daycare. But if I did it that way, I wouldn't have been in this opportunity, in this situation. But instead, I was being obedient and I paid my tithes and not my daughter's daycare. And I go and I talk to her and I'm honest. My pride is out the window. I'm super vulnerable. And she tells me to name my price. She the business. She need my coin. And she asking me to tell me how much you want to pay. And so I'm thinking, I ain't trying to, do too much and take advantage. And so I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, bet, I can do it. So I'm going to the daycare the next day, all nervous. I'm nervous, like, oh, I don't know what she gonna say. So we go, she sit down, she was like, how much can you pay? And I was like, I can do this weekly. And she was like, okay. She's like, we can definitely do that. She's like, but we're going to get some more kids in the daycare. And once we get more kids in the daycare, we'll be able to do that price. She was like, well, for now, we can do this price, which was still cheaper than what the original price was, which I was still saving money than the original price. And she was like, it's okay. It's going to be fine. We're going to honor this price. And this is what you're going to pay weekly. And I was just like, oh my gosh. Like, it was a blessing. It was I didn't see that. I never saw that. And like my mom always told me, God said, like, my ways is not your ways. My thoughts is not your thoughts. I'm thinking I'm going to either not pay my tithes and pay my daughter's daycare, or pay my tithes and ask my dad, oh, can you help me out for this week? Like, no, he did it to where it was just him. I had to just depend on him. And oh my gosh, guys, like when I tell you that it was amazing, it was just beautiful. And I'm not here trying to put tithing down your throat. I just want to challenge you to just try it. If you feel like it's not for you, then that's between you and God. I'm nowhere to put you in hell or heaven. But I just want you to try and see what he can do for you, because as I'm continuing paying my tithes, God is just blessing me in so many ways that I could never imagine. And I have another story for y'all, but it's going to be part 2. So y'all going to hear that story next week. But literally though, guys, when I tell you that God is amazing, and that 10% that you give back to God, and it doesn't matter what the church does. It really doesn't. And he had to tell me, he had to teach me that. It doesn't matter what the church do with that money you give them. That's between them and God. They got to talk that up with God. What you're doing is being obedient to his word. So I really, 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 and truly hope that this helped you guys, and if you have any questions about it, like I said, I'm no expert. I'm learning, with y'all. I'm learning with some. So yes, just hit me if you have any questions or anything. But I'm super, super, super happy that I can share this story with you guys. And if you have any questions, do not hesitate to hit your girl up. All right, out this thing.